So today I want to go over another really interesting online tool that's free that I've run across, and I really like this one because it is reminiscent of Excel or Google Sheets, whichever you prefer, because it's basically a way to take data and interpret it in an infographic sort of way. The website is Infogr.am, Infogr.am with a dot between the R and the A, and you can start with a design. Or you could just simply use it to create a chart or graph or a map. You can also upload data. You can actually transfer data from a Google Sheet and import it straight into Use. So if you already have data, you can pull data into Use. Or if you have an Excel spreadsheet, you can upload one of those and it will use the data from that. So you've got lots of options here. I'm going to choose to start with the design. You could see here just some examples of some things that I've put together. I'll just let you see this one really quickly. This is just my practice one when I was playing with it to try to figure out what it does. You can see basically you're creating an infographic. The infographics can have various different things added to them, and they're all editable in blocks. So if you're used to different types of graphics programs where you can edit in blocks, or web design programs where you can edit in blocks, this basically works just like that. And then when you double click things, you can access your information and then edit the information and update. So let me go ahead and start one from scratch. I will say it's a little buggy. Every now and then I have to hit refresh. Sometimes when I've tried to upload data, the data hasn't completely taken. Like I've had to refresh in order to get my data. But you can see here, like for instance, this is like instead of a pie chart, it's a box chart, I guess you would say, where it divides them into boxes. And here's a table, and you can add in images into the table cells as well. So anyway, let's go here, and I will create one from scratch. So we click Start with Design. Now this is just a theme, so don't pay attention to the fact that it has a chart on it. You can choose anything that you want. I'm just going to choose one of these here to use, and you immediately give it a name. So call that Skinner Fun Chart and click Create. That's going to take you here to this, and this one's kind of patriotic in nature. Very simply, double click to add title. Here's your color. You can see bullets, numbering, centering, all of your font formatting. And I'm going to put Miss Skinner Loves Food. And then, of course, you can add in information. Now, this is a box. It's a placeholder box for what looks to be a chart that probably didn't load all the way. And you can see that if there already is a chart in there, they provide you with sample data. If you decide you don't want something, you just hit the trash can and it will remove it. And you have a brief moment to where you can undo. And then you can add in what you like. So I'm going to come in here and add a chart. Let's say that I want to do a pie chart or a donut chart of some sort. Oops. So we'll scroll through and choose donut and insert, or you could do, semicircle. We'll do a semicircle just for fun. So once you put that in there, again, you double click the chart and you can access the data for the chart, and it automatically puts in some information here. So we have some numbers. Now I wish you could see the thing here, so let's go back and we'll see if we can get it to reload since it's not loading all the way here. I'll hit refresh. Alright, so here we go, we've got our chart. Now what's really cool is that if you have multiple data series, and in this case they had area and population, it'll put a tab. So when you go to your edit data, if you've got two columns in something that typically would have one, a pie chart usually would have one set of data. If you have two, then they provide you with a nice little toggle tab, and I think that's really cool. Now if you don't need it, you just get rid of that column, just delete that data, and it would update it. So what I like this is students sometimes struggle with figuring out how to set up the data for charts, so it's kind of nice that they give you some sample data. So if I was going to make this about food that I like, I could call this favorite foods, and then I could kind of put them on a scale of what I like the most to what I like the least in the way of my favorites. So let's say that I love pizza, pasta, chocolate, hamburgers, and I don't even know what else to say. Let's say pork chops. How random is that? All right, and I don't even have to make them percentages. I literally can kind of just give them number scales. So say pizza's a 10 for me, pasta's a 9, chocolate's a 9, hamburgers is an 8, pork chops is a 7, let's say. Of course, it's going to divide them up here, so you can kind of see how I ranked each of those, and you can see what takes up the most. It's got a nice little legend here. It's kind of interactive looking. You can drag and drop these, so if I decide I want that above this quote, then I can drag and drop it to wherever I'd like it to be located. Again, you can always come and edit data. You can shift off the legend and show the values. If you'd rather show values, you can do that. You can choose to have call-out names. So that would tell you what each of those are, or percentages, which wouldn't make sense in this particular one. But there you go. So that's pretty much that. And again, you have options for colors. So if you didn't like this gold being in here with all these things, just choose that gold color and then give it a different color choice. And done. And then it's taken care of, and it updates it nicely. So that's just the really general basics of it. But what's really fun is that you can do more than just make a chart. So one of the other ones that I created, I had I talked about my favorite candy, and I had a video where people were testing different Cadbury candies. And so it has a beautiful add media button over here, and you can search through various places, YouTube, Vimeo, SlideShare, Flickr, or you can paste in the URL of something else. So if I'm looking, I love this because you can search. So if I'm looking for maybe a pizza contest, I can actually search YouTube for a pizza contest, and then I can come through here and add a video that I might want to use. So I can click insert, and now I've got this pizza eating contest video that's put in my layout as well. So that's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. You can also add graphics. They have lots of icons that you can use that are free. Of course, they certainly have premium images, which you don't necessarily have the options under those premium images. And when it comes to uploading, you can only upload 10. You can only have 10 images in your image library. Now, what I don't know is if you can delete those images and reset that. That would probably be a good thing to know. Let's try. We'll upload a giraffe and see if we can trash our giraffe. All right, yeah. So it looks like you can get rid of those and then add those back in if you wish. You can add text. I like the little quote ones. This is fun too, this first fact, second fact. So again, if I was doing some stuff about pizza, I could get some facts about pizza, go out and Google those facts and put those in here as well and just list them. You can modify those icons. They're listed here, and they have lots of icons to choose from in their icon set, and then you can see how this gets set up as well. It even has a word cloud as one of its charts. So there's lots of different chart types. And of course, some of them are premium, especially these like fancy charts that have like those multiple data series, like a line chart with a stack column and line, that sort of thing. But there's really tons of free charts. Pictorial bars, pyramid funnels, a table, a gauge, just lots of really cool stuff. So if I choose word cloud, for example, I could insert a word cloud in there and again, edit data. And so you can pop in all your numbers, and then again, this one right now has tabs. But I could delete that second set of data if I didn't need it, and then I could put my own words. So if I wanted to put in different pizzas, so supreme and pepperoni and cheese, and then, just everything. Hawaiian, mushroom, sausage, hamburger. Okay, and then of course you just assign each one a number. So, if supreme I want to be really big because that is my favorite, then I might give it a 50. And pepperoni is also pretty good. I might give it a 40. And cheese, I'm not really a fan of cheese pizza. I absolutely don't really like Hawaiian pizza. Mushroom's fine, but not by itself. So let's say that those are mine. And then what it will do is populate those based on those numbers. So your bigger numbers are going to get your bigger size. You don't have to have the word in there a bunch of times like with your typical type. Now notice that it kept my theme color that I replaced earlier, so it is sticking with my theme. And you can also change the text direction on here. So right now they're all horizontal. You can choose X and Y and they go both directions. And then right now the only other one they have is diamond, which kind of goes sideways. But at least that gives you another option. So I will say in the free version you cannot download as an image or as a PDF. Neither of those are options unless you upgrade. But you can share it, so you can take your chart and get a link straight to it, or you can embed it. So you could actually embed it onto a website if you wanted to use it in a website. They have lots of options too. So if you have like a WordPress or a blog or something, you could embed that straight into the blog. Or of course you can just email it to somebody and then they would have an option there as well to view it. So this is just a quick demonstration of Infogr.am, Infogr.am. And I think it would be a great resource for any kind of business class or anywhere where you might want to manipulate some data and create some really cool infographics.